Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to WoW Live. My name is Tusky, and in this video we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. Now, I'm currently recording this outside of World of Warcraft using a program called Audacity. Basically, it just records my voice. That's how I do everything for my guides. So, today's going to be a little bit different. So, I need to discuss with you just what happened over the last couple of days, because things have happened and it has affected the channel and WoW Live just a little bit. You may have noticed that I, over the last couple of days, haven't put together any videos. I tried, but here is what happened. So, on Saturday, I picked up myself a new piece of recording software to help the process speed along and to deal with some lag issues, and it went great. It was all nice and smooth and everything was perfect, until I went to edit it. Now, I do say that WoW Live is not edited, and that's mostly true. Only for a few things, like I add an intro sequence and an outro sequence, and there are a few gaps in between the cues that I edit out, because it's just me sitting there browsing the internet while I wait for my cue to pop. Which isn't that interesting, because it's just silence punctuated by the occasional laugh. So, everything went well with this new recording software, right up until I tried to edit with it. And then, basically, the computer exploded. It's all very complicated and an awful lot of things happened, and it took a few days to sort it out, but I did sort it out. I haven't lost anything, except for the videos that I would have made on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, I was able to get out the tank guide, but the days before I wasn't able to. With all that said, here is what you missed. I was going to jump into Wing 3, like I will be doing in this video. I was going to jump into Wing 3 of the Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR, but I had to get Malakror done first, because I couldn't do the rest of the... I couldn't actually queue until I'd done Malakror. So I jumped into Wing 2 again. I recorded it all using the new software. I recorded it, did it, and the group very nearly wiped, but we did get him. And after that, I left the group. And I was like, okay, so that's sorted, and then I jumped straight into Wing 3. I ended up in this Wing 3 at the Spoils of Pandaria with a group that was small, about 13, 14 people. Then I spent about 20 to 30 minutes just watching people join and leave, join and leave, join and leave. Basically, the group was dead. There wasn't really much to do about it, and I was sitting there trying to get some content out of it, and it was early in the morning, and I was a bit miserable because I'd just woken up and all that stuff. So, it wasn't that great of a video anyway, and I'm kind of glad that the audio and the video kind of just buggered up. If you actually looked at the raw footage, it's just me talking like normal, and the audio is fine, but the visuals are about 300% faster. So that kind of sucks. About halfway through the video, it just stops and goes black, with me continuing to talk as if everything were working nicely. So, that video is kind of lost. I used a little bit of footage in it for the tank guide when I died on Malakror right before we nearly wiped. After that, I did a little bit of recording with fraps again, all that stuff, just going back to normal. I did a little bit of recording for the tank guide. And I did that with Zentorki. I showed off the trick where you jump, you use your Typhoon, and then you run away. That's all I've done. So I did that one kill. I didn't get any loot from it. And then I went and I did Spoils. It didn't work. We didn't even pull. It was just 20 to 30 minutes of people complaining and then leaving the group. And then after that, I did a bit of recording with the old software to get the tank guide sorted. So that's exactly what you've missed before this video happens. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to jump into WoW Live now, and we are going to get started. We're going to go into Wing 3, and hopefully we'll get a decent group, and hopefully everything will go well. So I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you very much for listening to this. Let's get started. Okay, now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, let's move on to the Underhold. So, we shall be jumping in as quickly as we can and getting to work. Now, the Underhold is going to be fairly difficult, I reckon. Oh, we got a queue instantly. That's a little bit worrying. Last time we did have a few... Oh, this may be a problem. Hopefully it's not Spoils again. So, let's wait and see. What have we got? The Rough-Hewn Passage. Looks like Spoils has just been destroyed. Okay, wonderful. So, we're at the last boss. Okay, well, such is the way LFR works. How many buffs, how many determination buffs do we have? We don't have any. Okay, let's see if we can find our other tank. Do we have another tank, or are we going to be sitting here waiting for another 25 minutes like last time? Okay, looks like... we do. Okay, here you are. Hello, Mr. Rage Puff. We'll whisper you. I'll be your off-tank. Smiley face. Oh, I'll be your off-tank. Smiley face. Alright, good. That is all good. Okay, let's just quickly go to the interwebs. Thok the Bloodthirsty tank swap. Just want to double check. 2 stacks. Maybe 3 for the ice phase. Okay. Alright, let's move forwards then a little bit. Well, we'll have to just wait and see. So it looks like most of the raid is here. We have every buff we need. Just got a couple of people missing. One of which is the tank. He is just back off a bit. So I suppose we should start pulling. So let's grab you. We'll start with that. Pop our cooldowns. And get ourselves some aggro. God, it's been a while since I played the druid. I've been focusing quite a lot on the protection paladin. Been enjoying that, but just want to grab all the aggro. Make sure we're all good. Okay, I think we're good. So just keep up with the AoE damage. Again, the floating combat text. That damn floating combat text every single time. Alright, so we are just going to smack you guys around. Make sure... We didn't really take any damage there, which is nice. We'll just quickly turn on our floating combat text. And then we will aggro this enraged Mushan beast. Get over here. Okay, nice to know that someone was casting Chain Heal on me, but I was out of range. Alright, so we will move you just back here this way. To avoid that, for one thing. And then we will turn you away from the raid because of Crushing Swipe. We will use our cooldowns here, though. Alright, that didn't hurt as much as I thought it would, but that's okay. So we'll just continue to hit you. And I think we are good. Looks like the DPS is pretty strong. And it looks like we will use our... Yeah, okay, that's all good. That's all good. Alright, DPS is pretty strong. And... Oh! Oh, okay, there we go. Had a little bit of a camera issue there. We'll grab you. And we will grab you. And then we will pop some defensives for you. I'd just like to point out, by the way, this down here, casting Chain Heal on you, but you're out of range, is not so grand. You don't really want to have an add-on like that kind of pressurizes the tanks into moving into different locations like this. Generally, it kind of works. I mean, obviously you want to be in range, but the whole idea of it is that, you know, you should be, you know, in range of the tanks. Because a lot of the times, for instance, with Thok, if one of the healers was out of range for some strange reason, then they would, first of all, they'd be in the wrong position. But second of all, let's say I was thinking, oh, I'm out of range. Let me get into range. I might turn Thok to tail swipe or braid on the raid, which we do not want at all. And of course, you know, I wouldn't do that, but it kind of pressurizes people into thinking like that. So we've got a Starving Yeti over here. We will put a skull on you. And he's just about to charge again. He will charge through the raid. We'll just avoid you. Goodness me, he ran straight over that priest. Interesting. Alright, well, we can't. This guy can't be tanked at all, so there's no point in us doing anything other than just hitting him a little bit. Just gonna do whatever DPS that I can in cat form. Let's wait for you to get past. Charge off again. Don't have dash. Probably use that a little bit early. Now, we've got to be careful because this Starved Yeti is about to die and Thok is going to march straight into the middle of the room, which is where the raid is. So I'm going to need to... We'll put that mark there. That mark there. And then that's green. That's blue. And that's red. Okay, perfect. Which... Where is the raid going to stack? It looks like they're going to head to the other side. Okay, that's good. Okay. Where is our lovely tank? You want to tank first? Well, I suppose I'll hit ready. Come on, my friend, say something to me. Well, it looks like he wants to go first. Or she, I'm not sure. Is it she? It is a she, okay. Rage Puff, you can go first. Where are you going? Okay. Ooh, you do not want to be standing there. Nope, I'm taunting you, my friend. Oh, I'm in the wrong form. Crap! Alright, this is what we're going to do. We're going to tank you here, exactly where you're supposed to be tanked. Or there. Okay, this is not exactly where you want to be tanking him, my friend. He tail swipes. Well, as long as he holds him still, I suppose the rest of the raid could move. Since this tank doesn't seem to be listening. Alright, so what are we on? I am on the 1 stack. He is also on 1. So we'll let him tank for a little bit until he gets the 2nd stack. Alright, there's the next one. And then we will grab aggro. And it looks like you are not going to be moving. So instead, we will jump through you. There we go. Ah, using the tactics that I talk about in my own guides. Yeah, it feels good. Alright, so Thok does an awful lot of damage, so we're just going to want to use things like our heals and our cooldowns to help survive this. So we'll pop our next cooldown here, combine it with Savage Defense to keep ourselves healthy, and we want to be using these mauls actually, because we're going to be getting a lot of rage from his auto attacks, and the more of them we can avoid, the better, so should be good. Okay, looks like rage buff has... Oh, okay, no, we are in the next phase. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to grab this jailer. And we want to move him away from the raid. So we'll just move you over here. Now, these jailers hit fairly hard. There's a lot of tank damage in this fight, so you want to be careful. And it looks like the other dude is tanking this way. So we're going to use... We don't have Savage Roar because we used it to jump through Thok. But that's okay. So we'll just use Savage Defense here. And kill the jailer. We'll open this as quickly as we can. There's not really much point in us staying in this phase. That's a good kite there, though. That's a good kite. Now, on LFR, he doesn't kill you if he walks over you, which is good, because if he did, then no LFR would ever kill Thok. It is quite funny to watch all the blood splatters, though, because it gives you the same animation as if you'd just been killed. It just deals damage on LFR, so... Okay, he has just entered his next phase. As soon as you see the big explosion on Thok, and he runs towards the... Oh, whoa, 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 get over here. Yeah, as soon as you see the big explosion on Thok, you will, you can know that he's switched phases. So that's a good reminder. Alright, so we are tanking Thok. That's good. You're going to use as much defensive cooldowns as we can. We'll probably pop Might of Ursok here to go with this. Although, really, it's probably a better idea to use these cooldowns later on in this phase, because the healers are going to be getting interrupted more and more and more. Or, at the very least, they're going to be having to stop cast more and more because he's going to be roaring more. So, it may be a good idea to save some of our cooldowns for later in the phase, because the healers won't be able to heal us as much. Of course, they'll still be able to heal us. So we're currently sitting on 3 stacks. Alright. Good. We can just move to the side here. Just do a little bit of auto-attacking. And let's help out the raid a little bit with a Tranquility. He's not roaring that often. He's roaring very slowly, actually. Having done this on normal mode, I will say it's quite strange to see him roaring this little. Alright, so we can't turn him that way. We can't turn him that way. This tank is going to... There we go. Perfect, perfect. Just what we need. I was considering jumping through him, but... Alright. Alright, next phase is up. Which means that we have to worry about getting this jailer. We're going to have to run around here. Get aggro on you. Come on. Where's the taunt? There is the taunt. Alright. Got knocked in a bit of an awkward direction there. We'll make sure we just get aggro on you. Pop our defensives. Our Savage Defense. We have Bark Skin about to come up. We'll use that as soon as it comes off cooldown. And then drag him over towards the blue. Okay. Looks like the raid is doing okay. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Holy moly! Using all of our cooldowns here. Like I said, the jailers hit very hard. Gotta be careful there. Spiked pretty hard there, but that's okay, that's okay. We are a little bit undergeared for this, but that's just fine. We did survive it, and even if we didn't, we haven't had anyone die so far, so I probably would have got battle rezzed. Of course, dying is not what you want to do, ever, but that could have gone worse. I could have died, so that was good. Alright, so we want to kind of hang around Thok. We don't want to go in melee range, obviously, because we'll take damage. And if this were any other difficulty mode, you know, we would die. So he's now going to run across the raid and into you. So we will grab aggro on you and make you face this direction. What you want to do on this fight as a tank is, as soon as he's picked a direction, as soon as he's on you, you kind of want to just stick with it. You don't really want to move him too much, because the rest of the raid is going to be getting hit by his breaths. They're going to be getting hit by his tail swipe. You don't want to do that, and unfortunately, if they get hit by the tail swipe, it's a stun, which is really annoying. So you're just going to want to keep him still as soon as you get aggro on him. As long as the raid has access to his sides, you should be good to keep him in that position. So we have Bark Skin about to come up. We want to wait for the other tank to taunt swap. Alright, okay, so we've used our Bark Skin here. You will use our next Savage Defense, waiting for the other tank to get aggro. We're going to get frozen fairly soon, which is not grand. Alright, other tank has aggro, that's nice. We don't want to get out of the way. Because if we reach 5 stacks, I believe... Yeah, 5 stacks, Tomb of Ice, frozen. Very bad. We don't want that. So that was actually a fairly good taunt swap by the other tank. Cutting it a little bit close, probably closer than I would have liked, but that's just fine. And in about 5% health, we are going to be onto the next intermission. There it is. Alright, so we're going to use Savage Roar. Get aggro on the Corcoran Driller nice and fast this time, and combine it with Berserk to get lots and lots of rage, so we can use plenty of Savage Defenses and mauls, which is very important, because last time we very nearly died to this guy. So we're going to move him slowly backwards. I don't want to get him too far away from the raid because I think part of the problem why I nearly died last time was because I was moving away from the healers, which we don't want at all. So I will grab that, and then we will dash over to the cage door and unlock it. So there we go. Cage is opened. We're going to pop back into bear form and use Enrage to get ourselves a bit more rage. Alright, so he will soon be going over towards him. So we may actually be in a good position here because he is about to charge over to Montac and get him. Which means that we can then move him exactly like this so that he is facing the raid. Perfectly, just like that. That's just what we want. You want him to be his side to be facing the raid at all times. Alright, so this is where the raid damage kind of just goes through the roof. So we want to stagger our cooldowns fairly well here. So we're going to be using one trinket. And then when that ends, we'll use our second trinket. Of course, we want to be using Savage Defense. And then I think we will... Okay, second trinket time. And we will combine that with our Survival Instincts. Looks like that is either a random Death Knight or the tank. No, that's a random Death Knight. Okay. And then we will use Bark Skin. And then we will finish the fight off with Might of Ursok, I think. And then probably Frenzied Rejuvenation as well. Actually, we'll use Frenzied Rejuvenation right now. Okay, no. Okay, good. The other tank has aggro. That's nice. Looks like we are good. We will just continue to hit him. Wait for our debuff to fall off. Although he should honestly die before that. This has been going pretty well for just such a short little run. But that's fine. We will move just around here. We haven't got much room at the moment. That's okay. Got 6 seconds on our debuff. Not too much of a big deal. We use Savage Defense there. Did not want to do that. Okay, we'll wait for one more Scorching Breath. Use our Bark Skin. And then we will pull aggro. Alright, so we're not sitting in fire. We are quite close to the boss there. That's fine. Not too much of a big deal. We'll just shimmy you to the left to avoid this Death Knight getting hit by the breath. And then use Might of Ursok to finish the fight off, just like we wanted to. And there we go. One last Savage Defense. And that is a dead Thok. So there we go. Thok is down. So we'll say, thanks, folks. Alright, and then we shall leave the group. But that is not where this wildlife will end. Oh, no. No. We've only done the one boss of the Underhold so far. We want to get the other ones done as well. So, we still have the Scorching Breath on us. That kind of sucks. It won't kill us, though, so we should be fine. Alright, so we will go back to the Underhold and queue ourselves again. So, we only got the Coalesce Thermal. No loot there, although I suppose it would be a good idea to go and get the Warforged Seals. I've had a busy week, I have to say. Like I said earlier, the computer's kind of explodicated and been doing a bit more heroic raiding. Iron Juggernaut on heroic. Damn, that fight is insane. But, yes, we shall... we do not have the lesser charms for this. How many do we need? We need about 30 more. Alright, well that's fine. While we're waiting for this queue, hopefully it won't take too long, but while we are waiting for this queue, we will put ourselves on a flight point towards the Timeless Isle. Often a good idea to use the flight point from the Shrine of the Two Moons, because, first of all, the flight point is faster than flying. The direct speed, it doesn't go directly there, which often means that flying is faster. As you can see, I'm currently going in the wrong direction, but that's fine. But the main reason you want to fly to the Timeless Isle you want to use a flight path to go to the Timeless Isle as opposed to flying yourself, is that you can't really reach the Timeless Isle just by flying. I don't think you can, anyway. I think you get hit with fatigue before you can get there. Either that or you may get dismounted and, like, thrown to the ground. Something like that. I know that happens on the Isle of Giants to the north, but I've never tried flying there personally, but I've always believed that using the flight point is easier. Alright, so it looks like this queue will probably pop fairly soon. We're waiting for 4 healers. That might take a little while, which gives us a little bit of a chance to grab ourselves some more Warforged Seals. So I've been thinking a little bit about WoW Live and just exactly what I'm going to do with it. I mean, the whole idea of WoW Live at the moment is to create kind of a very, very, very long guide. Essentially, I was asked, you know, can you show us what it's like to boost A90 and what kind of things to go through? And I think I've done that pretty well. A lot of the initial stuff, I think, you know, going through the Timeless Isle and the first couple of LFRs and the Proving Grounds and getting used to the character, all that stuff. I think that was probably some of the most helpful stuff. At this point, it's probably not massively helpful. I think I do want to finish the Siege of Orgrimmar on LFR with the Druid, at least. That's at least what I want to do. But, that being said, I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to end WoW Live. Because, like I said, it's a guide, and I mean, I like the Druid, don't get me wrong. It's pretty fun to play. But I have been leveling the Paladin as well, because I just wanted to level the Paladin. He was level 70. He was an alt that I'd leveled a long time ago, so I jumped back on him just to get some tank footage for the tank guide, and I realised, wow, I really, really like this. I really like the way the Protection Paladin plays, so maybe that'll be the one I level in Warlords first. You'll never know. But at the moment, it's going pretty well. The Warrior is still on the table as well. Haven't got too much time to get it done, but I will get it done in some regard. I'll make sure I am ready for Warlords. But that does leave the question of what is the point of the WoW Live at the moment, other than, you know, just creating content, because I want to create content on a daily basis. But it's a bit tricky. I want to create the content on a daily basis, of course, but the WoW Live lets me make the content on a daily basis because it's fairly easy to record and I just talk about what I'm doing as I do it. As for, you know, doing guides like the Tank Guide and the Healing Mentality Guide and, you know, the Class Guide, the Elemental Shaman Guide, that was a big one. All that stuff, it's difficult to make in a single day. I mean, it's doable and I can do kind of discussion things, which has been something I've been considering doing. But I can't do full-out guides. I was considering doing something like daily discussions, I was going to call it, where I just found a topic from, say, the MMO Champion forums or the Battle.net forums, or just something that I've thought up. So it could be about Warlords of Draenor, assuming it's not a spoiler. And I just talk about it, and I'd say, like, okay, you know, so in 6.0, you won't be able to do the Legendary quest line anymore. Well, you won't be able to pick it up if you haven't already picked it up. So saying things like that, I'll talk about, you know, why I think it's good that you won't be able to get it anymore and the kind of the design philosophy behind it. And I mean, I could probably do that every single day. I may run out of topics, but it's really up to you folks as to whether or not you think you'd enjoy that, because it's kind of like Tusky Talks, and I do enjoy doing Tusky Talks. I think it's a very niche show that I do. I mean, not everyone watches it because a lot of people are here for guides or, you know, the WoW Live or things, stuff like that. So I'd just like to know what you think. You can let me know in the comments, or you can, of course, contact me using the links in the description. This is not the end of the video when I say that. I often get used to saying that at the end of the video, but it's not. We shall get the other LFR done first. Alright, looks like we're still actually looking only for 2 healers now. That's good. That's very good. But yes, we'll at least get the LFR done for Siege of Orgrimmar. Because, really, I suppose I could make a discussion video about this, but at the moment, in my eyes, I don't really see the point in doing anything except for progression. I said this a couple days ago when I was raiding. I said, you know, we don't really have the people for, you know, to do heroic progression unless we get this person and all that normal kind of raid stuff. And I say, okay, you can do that, but I'm just going to kill some of these little turtle hatchlings here. Alright, so I was just thinking, okay, yeah, we could just go and do normal mode, because that's what we can run over normal mode with our full team, but I mean, there's no point. I mean, a couple of people may be able to use the gear, and the heirloom weapons from Garrosh may be helpful, right? But at the same time, what about, you know, progress? I think that that's really the only thing that is kind of doable at the moment, or at least is worth doing. Because, I mean, you have to think about the whole point of raiding. What is the point of raiding? The point of raiding is to raid, right? Is to kill bosses. At least that's in my opinion. The point of raiding should never be to get gear, because that just creates a massive loop. Why do you raid? To get gear. And what do you use the best gear to do? To raid. I don't think that's how it should be. I think the whole point of raiding should be to A, spend time with, you know, your friends and your guild and all that stuff. And I think the second point of it should be to challenge yourself, to get progress. And by doing that... Oh, you're evade bugging. How strange. Alright, well, we'll sit on top of you. I think the whole point of it should be to do progress. And if you don't do progress, then, I mean, what's the point of it? Gear. But there is no satisfaction in having good gear, because you don't do anything with it. That's always been my thought, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but... At the moment, I feel like I haven't got too much to do in WoW. I mean, that's to be expected, and I will still make coverage about WoW and all that stuff. Just going to stun you. But, I'm not entirely sure when the WoW Live is going to end, and... Okay. How strange. Did I even get any lesser charms from that? Where can I get my hands on some lesser charms? I suppose I could go kill some Yongol. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I'll go kill some Yongol. Anyway. All that being said, not entirely sure what's going to happen in the 60-odd days we have left until Warlords of Draenor and 6.0. I may make less content and then, like, start speeding things up as Warlords hits. Of course, well, I say speed things up, probably more explode. But we really are settling in on the drought now of WoW. And by that, I mean, it was the same drought in Icecrown Citadel and the Ruby Sanctum, where it's just the same content over and over. And, a rare mob will go and help that. So there is that, but at the same time there's, you know, the whole Dragon Soul thing. Your alliance. We'll beckon you over. Beckon. Alright, so let's go do this. Okay. And yeah, you had the wait with Dragon Soul, and you had the wait with with Ice Crown Citadel, and we're going to have a similar wait now. Ooh, we want to avoid that Furious Splash. Generally on the timer style, if you see it on the ground, don't stand in it. That's just generally the whole idea. If it's an ad, kill it. Or tank it. Or, sorry, or kite it. Alright. Nah, you had a lesser charm on you. Very nice. Any hoot. Which one is... F5. Okay. But yes. Generally, I'm not entirely sure how WoW Live is going to go. I'm just kind of repeating myself here. I'd honestly like to know what you guys think we should do with the channel while the drought is settling in. I mean, we could always do something like live streams, maybe play some games together as a community. I might try and get a forum started. I don't know. I don't really know how many of you would be interested in that kind of thing. Because like I said in the goal of the channel, the goal of the channel is to, you know, turn it into my career and hopefully build a community out of this channel of people, you know, who want to learn and who want to get better and who want to play fun games. That's generally it. So yeah, there's that. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. So in the meantime, I'm just going to kill stuff here while I wait for this queue to pop. It may take a little while. And honestly, I may take the chance to go and grab a drink because my throat is getting a little bit sore. Haven't had a drink today yet. And we will interrupt this Oath of Guardsmanship. Now, interesting thing about this Oath of Guardsmanship, it only gets cast when you're in when it is in combat alongside other... Oh, goodness me, I've got loads of these guys now. Anyway, it'll only be cast if there are other dudes around it attacking you. And the Oath of Guardsmanship massively reduces the damage that they take. As you can see, there is the Oath of Guardsmanship right there. It's really easy to interrupt, but it just makes it very difficult to AoE things down. We're not doing all that much damage at the moment, but that's fine. They're not doing any damage to us either, so we'll just throw in the healing touch. And just continue to AoE. And that's kind of it. Still waiting on Berserking, so can't do too much damage. Oh, you're doing Burning Sacrifice. Move away from you. There we go. There is the next Oath of Guardsmanship. That's a cracking blow. Don't have to worry about interrupting that. Can't interrupt that. Oh, goodness me, I got hit by that. That's alright, though. I'm not taking that much damage. Oh, and here's another dude. Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to continue to smack you guys around. Goodness me. We'll get them down eventually, I promise. How's the queue doing? Looks like, well, apparently we've lost everyone, but that's probably not the case. Just interrupt you. And we will wait until you cast it, and then stun you. There we go. An interesting thing about interrupts is that if you're going to interrupt a channeled ability, it's often best, unless the channel is really dangerous, to interrupt it after the enemy casts it. Because then it goes on cooldown. Because if I, for instance, this is more related to stuns than flat interrupts, but if I had interrupted that guy by stunning him as he was casting the Oaths of Guardsmanship, it wouldn't have put any kind of cooldown on the Oaths of Guardsmanship. So he would have just cast it again instantly after the stun had worn off, I think. Some mobs are designed not to do that, but a lot of mobs also do act like that, so it's something you should keep in mind. Goodness me, this isn't the most exciting thing in the world, I'll grant that. But we should be fine to just continue to do this. Alright, so I'll give you an example. I will stun you, and hopefully not kill you. So I've stunned him, and he may not cast it again. No, he's just going to cast Cracking Blow instead. Okay. Alright, that's fine. But the whole idea of it is that by using an interrupt, you put the spell that they were casting on a cooldown by putting an interrupt cooldown on their abilities of that school. That's why if you get interrupted while you're casting a nature spell, you can't cast any of the nature spells for a few seconds. So in that regard, it kind of screws with the NPC AI by telling them, you can't cast this now, do something else, so they do something else. But yeah, that's just interrupts. You just want to interrupt things if you can, and if you can't, then you want to stun them instead. And we will lacerate you and maul you for the final kill. Alright, hopefully we got some lesser charms. Alright, we got a couple. Alright, so this will probably take a little bit of time. So, you have a million Oath Guards after you. Well, we don't want to fight you. We could probably take on these Candle Keepers, though. Let's go do that. So we'll use Savage Roar and start aggroing you guys. Don't want to aggro all of them, and we don't want to aggro an elite. So we'll start off with this and see how we fare. So at this point, we always want to constantly be moving in a circle, essentially. As you can see in the tank guide, when I strafe in a circle, they act very weirdly by moving around in this weird circle. But generally, I just want to avoid all of these Breaths of Fire, because these Breaths of Fire do a lot of damage. So we always want to be moving, always want to be moving. We'll probably pop Berserk here at this point, actually, do a lot of damage. Combine it with a Maul. And a savage defense is to keep hitting you guys. Okay, there is our last mangle. And we're taking a fair amount of damage, but we'll pop a couple of cooldowns here to help mitigate it. And hopefully we'll have another heal available soon. Alright, so... Oh, getting hit by one. But only the one, that's good. I want to keep an eye out for that now that they're all getting a little bit low. It seems they do a raw animation instead of just the use animation when they go for the kill there. Oh, we've aggroed a big guy, but that's okay. Alright, we avoided that burning sacrifice. We'll avoid this one as well. Want to interrupt that pyroblast. Because these guys do a fair amount of damage. Unlike the Oath Guards, these guys actually do damage. Alright, so we'll avoid that. He should be doing his sacrifice any minute now. Come on, do your sacrifice, my friend. Or I'll just kill you. Alright, there's the burning sacrifice. Don't worry about letting them die with burning sacrifice. You still get the credit. Alright, so now we are taking on this dude. So this guy only does 2 spells as far as I'm aware. He does the Pyroblast and he does Falling Flames. Now Falling Flames is just, as you can see here, it's a channel and it's kind of like a big fountain of lava. He'll just throw them all around. You can't interrupt it, and generally you shouldn't if you're melee, because if you're melee, you're so close to him that they'll probably never really hit you. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. So our Ysera's Gift is healing us up here. This is the thing you want to interrupt. And no, we didn't interrupt that one because we're slow because of global cooldowns. But yeah. You want to interrupt that with a stun, or ideally an interrupt, because the Pyroblast is just direct damage to your face, which you don't want. So we'll interrupt this next one. Continue to hit you in the face. How much vengeance are we at? Oh, that's a lot of vengeance. At least I think it is. I have no idea how vengeance stacks like this. I've never really been a big fan of vengeance. I just kind of ignore it and get on with my job. Especially when it comes to raids. I just kind of do it. As long as things are being tanked and I'm doing my job, I don't care about my DPS. Alright. So that's that group down. 5 more Lesser Charms. That's good. We only need 10 more at this point. So it looks like you're going to be grabbing that. Alright, are you Alliance or Horde? Oh, you're Alliance. Bleh. Alright, looks like we could probably take on this. Let's do that. We'll take on you 3 and you 4. So that gives us 7. Some of which are fairly dangerous. There's going to be a lot of Breaths of Fire. We don't want to get hit by as many this time. We really don't want to get hit by as many this time. No, we got hit by 1 already. That's not a good start. Just keep up the AoE, and we want to actually be targeting the Oath Guard. There we go. I used tab targeting to target him there. And we will just... That's what we want to interrupt. We want to interrupt that Oath of Guardsmanship, because if we let it cast it, then we are in trouble. Oh, yes, indeed. And we'll use our Typhoon, yeah. Little fact here is, actually, Typhoon is what I was using during the tank guide. Just going to use my bark skin here to help me. I was using... Typhoon during the tank guide to show off a little trick that you can use by rotating mid-jump to get a spell off while you're kiting. So we will just continue to use our mangle here. And that it looks like that is the one that procs our healing touch, which is good because we want to use another healing touch here. We'll combine that with Might of Ursoc and our dodge trinket just to survive this damage. Keep moving in a circle, interrupt this Oath of Guardsmanship. Avoid the flame breaths. Oh, got hit by the stun. They're starting to come in now, these stuns. Thankfully, they didn't all cast them at the same time, so we'll just back off a little bit here. And we'll knock them back, actually. Hopefully, some of them will start casting before they reach us. They may only cast it when they reach melee range. Looks like that is the case. So we're going to have a whole bunch of explosions there. Alright. We've still got one more Candlekeeper. Maybe we can kill him before he does his burning sacrifice. Oh, no, there it is. Actually, we'll interrupt you. I don't feel like you exploding today, my friend. Instead, we will just... leave you and kill you. Alright, there we go. So now it's just us versus the Oath Guard. It's kind of important as a tank when you're doing mass pulls like this, although not really mass pulls, just big pulls, is you have to know how much you can handle, because I probably couldn't have handled much more than this. I did get hit fairly hard, and the damage really kind of front loads at the beginning when you've got them all meleeing you and using all their abilities. If you get hit by 1, then you're kind of in trouble because, you know, especially with that stun, if they all cast that at the same time, then I probably would have died there. So I want to keep an eye out for what their health is at, because they only do it when they get low. So we will continue to hit you. Thankfully, we got a good portion of his health down while we were AoEing the other guys down. What's our Q like? Oh, looks like we're still sitting on 5 healers. Waiting for 5 healers even. That's not so grand. So we will just continue to smack you. At least this time we're doing something useful while we wait for our Q to pop. So what's this going to be? Oh, I didn't see any there. Oh, we got 3. That's good. Alright, so what shall we do here? Oh, looks like we're going to aggro it. That's what we're going to do. Alright, so that's fine. Only 4 this time, so this should be hopefully a little bit faster. We want to avoid these flame breaths. Want to use our mangle as well, because it looks like it's our mangle that combines to proc our healing touch castable in bear form, which is what we want to do. Alright, so we will just continue to hit you folks. The tree is not being that helpful. We'll lower our camera a little bit to help avoid with that. And we want to keep an eye on when these guys get low, so we know when to expect the burning sacrifice. Oh, I'm not sure if that was a cracking blow or a flame breath. But we did get hit. Alright, there's the oath that we want to interrupt. Generally, when you're moving in a circle like this, it's not the best idea in the world to go back in the other direction, because if they're casting and you move back, then, well, you've just put yourself back into the line of fire. Exactly like that. That is exactly why you shouldn't do that. Come on, Tusky. I'll interrupt you. Alright, so they're starting to get a little bit low. We want to keep an eye on them. You can tell because they'll do a roar animation. They'll start casting Burning Sacrifice. And sometimes they will yell as well. They'll like, oh, my life for Ordos and all that stuff. Although sometimes they won't do it. They won't do any kind of yell. So you want to keep an eye on that. And it seems like they only do it while they're in melee range as well. So actually, we'll knock you all back, except for you. Charge in. There's one. I see one there. And there's 2. Oh, they don't do the roar animation. They do the beg animation. Okay. I do know there's animations. It's kind of dumb. I used to do a little bit of machinimating back in the day, but I don't do that anymore. And when I say machinimating, I mean... Oh, crap! Ooh, getting hit by everything there. That's not what we want to do. That's okay, though. We've got Ysera's gift, and we've got our healing touch, so we're good. We're just fine. We're just fine. But yeah, when I say machinimating, I mean, you know, like really amateur stuff, so I would think nothing of it. Anyway, continuing to do this, going to avoid the cracking blow. We're just going to get ourselves up to 50 Warforged seals, I think, and then we will go and hand in the quest. Then we'll probably sit and wait for the queue to pop. So another cracking blow. Going to avoid that this time. And a final hit to kill you. Alright, so that puts us on 45. That's nice. Timeless leather boots. We already have timeless leather boots. It's just no big deal. Alright, so we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so we will go through here and grab you. Alright, so this is the group that we're going to be fighting. Thankfully, they're all candle keepers, so it should be a little bit faster than before. So we'll pop some cooldowns here because, like I said at the beginning of every single pull, the damage is front-loaded. So we want to be just moving in a nice circle here. Want to keep going at this angle here. This is pretty good. Gonna throw in the mangle there. Oh, good, we got a heal. That's nice. Unfortunately, sometimes it seems like the person I'm targeting goes just a little bit out of range. But that's fine. That's fine. We're not in too much of a hurry. We just want to keep the damage up. Oh, got hit by the Burning Sacrifice there. Again, wasn't paying attention. Must pay more attention. Come on, Tusky. Pay more attention. Can't get hit by more than one of those at a time. If you do, you are in trouble. And then we will knock you all back. Charge in to avoid that flame breath. Hopefully we'll get a couple of blazing sacrifices soon. We'll use our frenzied rejuvenation to heal us. There is one burning sacrifice. There is... That's just a breath. That's a breath. That's a breath. It should be soon. It should be soon. Okay. I'm going to use our next Savage Defense. Alright, there is one. There is the next one. And there is another one. Alright, so just the 2 of us now. Can we kill you? Can we kill you? I'm confident. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that puts us on 48. Did we just loot something rare? No, okay. I was seeing things. Okay, so what are we going to do next? We'll use Frenzied Regeneration. I should use Frenzied Regeneration more, I think. So we'll then charge here. We can probably handle this Firewatcher as long as we prioritize his interrupts and stuns. Thankfully, he doesn't do too much that requires us to move. The Falling Flames may be a little bit of a problem, but that's okay. Alright, got hit by 2 Flame Breaths there. That's not what we want. Can we interrupt you in time? Oh, and here is our Q popping. Alright, well, we'll hit accept, and hopefully we won't die before we enter the instance. That would suck. Alright, so here comes the Falling Flames. Going to keep moving in a circle. We'll use our Berserk to try and get some damage out here. I'm just going to play as if this weren't happening, as if my Q hadn't popped. And we want to move away from that other group there. We'll just jump through them there. That wasn't probably the best move. Use another Frenzy Regeneration here and interrupt you. No, we didn't have the interrupt there, but that's fine. Using the Mangle got us a proc of our healing touch, so that's nice. We will hit you around. It looks like, okay, our Q was 1 tank out of 2, which kind of sucks. missing a healer. Oh no, I think we're maybe at full healers and missing a DPS. But it does put us at the beginning of the run, which is very important. So that's good. So we can get the first couple of bosses done. And then we can say we are done with the Underhold, which is good. And we may even... Oh no, we don't have the Warforged seals. Bit of a shame. We were very close to getting it done, but that's fine. We'll have them for the... Definitely have them for the next wing. Alright, so little known fact here, as I just check through here. You can run forwards like this. And then just back off. Actually, you can probably just stand here. Because they don't actually... Although it looks like they may aggro, they don't. So, they'll just stand there. Alright, so we'll go to the left here and charge in. We will use our bark skin and our AoE abilities to get as much threat as we can. Combine that with Savage Defense, keeping up the AoE. We'll throw in a Maul and a Fairy Fire in there. Alright, looks like we lost aggro. And it was to a DPS. Okay. So we're still waiting for the other tank. Unfortunately, Malakror is not a fight you can one tank, which is important. Okay, so it looks like we have pulled a lot here. It generally tends to happen in just about every run you do this in. So we're going to want to pop pretty much every single cooldown here. So I've just hit every button that I have. Very important here as a tank that you pick up everything you can. The gunners aren't that big of a deal. Alright, this serrated rampage, though, is very dangerous. That's what kills most people here. Alright, so we're feared, which is a little bit of an issue, but that's okay. So the serrated rampage and the skull splitter is really what makes this fight, these trash packs, so dangerous. The skull splitter does something called serrated rampage, which is just like 700 cleaves in like 5 or 6 seconds. And here it is here. You want to interrupt it somehow, and I don't have anything to interrupt it at the moment. It hits very hard, but that's okay. That's okay. We don't have anything to really yank this Corcoran gunner over to us, so we'll just hit it with a ranged attack and taunt it. And hopefully that'll keep it on us for a little bit. We can't really run in there, but it's a little bit too close, I think, to... Yeah. There. Okay, we've aggroed the next group. That's fine. The main thing here is you just want to grab as much aggro as you can. I was going to go over there, but that's a bit too close to the other group for my liking. So we will continue to hit you folks. What are we on? And looks like we are... That's a weird looking wait time, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep going until another tank pops along, really. If we move to the left here... Oh! Okay, good death grip. That was a good death grip. I like that death grip. Alright, because I was mostly worried about that group over there that I'm just bouncing over. Just want to avoid that. Now this Demolisher will keep firing at you, even if you're not in combat with it, so that's fine. So we'll aggro you. We will throw in the damage, and you want to be careful with these two pillars, because they do block line of sight. Well, I'm pretty sure they do. I don't want to risk it either way. So here comes the serrated rampage. We have lost aggro, again to the DPSer. That's okay. I just want to... That's primarily how I'm checking to see if we've got our second tank, to see if we lose aggro because he taunts, to help us out. Alright, so that was a good trash pack. Looks like these guys are in a good position as well, so we will Savage Roar. Grab you. That may aggro the group next to you. Alright, looks like it's not going to. Alright, so we will just pull you through here. Haven't got the best angle of attack. Okay, we have just pulled everything. Alright, well, time for every cooldown then. This is probably going to kill us, in all honesty. This is probably just too many mobs. Just too many mobs. We'll use our Frenzied Rejuvenation to go in tandem with this. And we will use everything we have. Everything we have. Just every single cooldown, really. We're going to be generating loads of rage, which means we can use Frenzied Rejuvenation loads. Which is awesome. Of course, that also screws with the fact that we don't have Savage Defense up right now, which we want Savage Defense. Alright, so Barkskin is there, and we seem to be somehow surviving this. I am very surprised. Just going to keep using Savage Defense. Well, either the healers are great, the damage has been nerfed, or... I'm not going to say I'm great, but maybe I'm just using my cooldowns effectively, but I've probably not the latter. It's probably one of the first two, so kudos to these healers. They seem to be doing a pretty good job. And now that we've pretty much cleared this section of the room, we can just hit you, we'll stun you, just to reduce the damage you do to the raid. And get you guys down. Alright, so moving on to the next pack. I wish I had a way of filtering things. Unfortunately, in my UI guide, I'm just going to pull this pack and use my cooldowns here. In my UI guide, I mentioned using the raid frames Voodoo for Voodoo raid frames. They're very good, that's what I have at the moment. Unfortunately, it has been discontinued. It might be picked up by someone else to continue the development of it, but generally that means that in Warlords of Draenor, it'll probably be useless. It'll probably be broken, which kind of sucks. that may not be the case. Someone may decide to pick it up, and they may have done so already for all I know. But in any case, just want to keep an eye on how that develops, and I may have to look at getting a different raid frame. May use grid and configure it loads. That's what I've done with Voodoo. I just used Voodoo and configured it a whole bunch. We'll probably have to wait for a tank here. Alright, so we're going to pull you, charge forwards, get as much threat as we can, tank them all on top of each other, and we'll actually use a big cooldown here, because we're probably going to be waiting a fair amount of time for this next tank to pop along, and I cannot one-tank Malakror. I just cannot. The damage will be too high. Unless the damage is anything like these Skull Splitters, then maybe I bloody well can one-tank it. But anyway, looks like things are going fairly well. Someone called Terror War has joined the group. Who is he? He's a DPS, so that kind of sucks. Alright, so let's just double check to make sure we are in fact missing our tank. And that he's not just being really lazy. Oh, we haven't. Cotton Ball, he's called. Where is he? Oh, you're literally right next to me. Alright, okay, okay. Well, let's have a quick look at his gear. I don't even know how I noticed that. Okay, so he is not the best gear. A little bit worse than mine, but that's okay. Alright. Let's just double check. Malakror tank swap. That's all you want to just search for that in Google. And look at this. You want to do about 10. Okay. And then when your debuff falls off. Okay. So we will... Oh, where's he gone? There he... Nope. Nope. There he is. Okay. Let's swap on about 12 stacks. I'll tank first. We'll throw down a ready check. And we have a great Pandarian banquet here. Make sure you eat that. Make sure you always have food buff. It's always helpful, especially if someone else throws it down, because then you get it for free. So make sure you have your food buffs there. Okay. Right. And looks like everyone is here except for Sneezy. Sneezy, I think you're AFK. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. Okay, so we will pull in about 10 seconds. Use our Enrage.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Pull! So we'll turn you around instantly. And then use our bark skin. Because, got to be careful here, because at the beginning of this fight, we can't be healed, remember. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. So we will get rid of our objectives here. In fact, we'll just do this. We'll pop down a marker there. Alright, looks like the tank is standing in stuff, that's good, although the other one exploded, which is less good. So we're currently sitting on 10 stacks, waiting for him to taunt. There is... Come on, give us the taunt. There it is, wonderful, okay. So the Fatal Strike is really nasty. It just increases all damage taken. So at this point, we're not worrying too much about doing DPS. We want to focus more on... We want to absorb this. It looks like the other tank is just going to jump in it every single time. That's okay. We want to mark where the Breath of your Sarge where the Shockwave comes in, so that we know where to move for Breath of your Sarge. So we'll do breath incoming, move away from markers. So we'll want to yell that. Okay. Do the raid warning. And we want to tank swap at this point. And then we can take advantage of the melee by moving him in this direction, which forces the melee to come with us, which makes them avoid this. One of the great advantages of the tank. You in something like Malakror, you can move the boss to make the melee move, because they want to keep DPSing the boss, right? So, if you move the boss, they'll be like, oh, I'm just going to keep moving to catch up with the boss. And then, they successfully avoid mechanics. So you essentially drag them out of the mechanic, which is nice. Alright, so hopefully the other tank will swap whenever he wants. There we go. Perfect. Here comes the next... Whoops, missed that one. That's okay. Pop that one down. Looks like no one's going to stand... Oh, good. Good, someone did stand in that. That's nice. Alright, so we're sitting at 100 rage. So that's fine. We're going to do... We have 13 seconds until we have to tank swap. So it looks like it's kind of a rotation here. We have the tank swap about the same time as he does the breath. So we'll pop that down. Can I have... There we go. And there we go. And we'll taunt you. Move you to the side. Move the melee away. And then we will stack. We want to stack hit. We want to pop a lot of our cooldowns because this is going to hurt. Looks like actually the majority of the raid are behind us. So we'll actually just turn around here. Nice and quick. I was considering turning around right when the Blood Rage started, but I expected more people to jump in. They didn't, but that's fine. So we will... Alright, there we go. That's just fine. And it looks like we'll actually even let our tank drop. Our tank debuff drop. So that's all good. So, and then the fight pretty much repeats itself. He's at 50%. He just went through his first rotation, and that's basically the fight. So I kind of like this fight as a tank, actually. I kind of enjoy it. It's all about just surviving this guy, and I get plenty of time to mark where things are and keep an eye on mechanics and stuff like that. And is anyone else going to jump in this? Alright, you're going to jump in it. Alright, now, one note about these pools. Of course, if you know the mechanics, and I will, of course, include a link in the description below to the mechanics. Our friendly tank is taunted. That's good. Next, arcing smashing coming. I want to just move out of that. Pop the marker down. Okay, now, every time he does an arcing smash, he will summon 3 of these pools, as you can see. And if you don't stand in them, they do raid damage to the entire raid. But the damage that they deal, it still happens. We'll use our charge to avoid the falling damage from that. But yes, the damage will still happen. It'll still deal damage inside it, even if it doesn't explode in the raid. And that damage is not split. So if someone else is already standing in one of these, you don't have to stand in it. Alright, so breath incoming. Move away from the markers. Want to use our defensives. We've moved the raid away. There we go. Use our Savage Roar to get ourselves nice in position in the center of the room. And there we go. That's all good. And of course, moving the boss so that his back is always to the melee. We want that as much as we can. And if you're curious as to what add-on I'm using for this, it's a for this radio menu I've got here. The tank is alive, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But yes, the everyone in this group is alive as far as I know. Yes. All right. Yes. So this add-on that I'm using to mark is called OP, or OPI, I suppose it's probably called. Alright, so he has aggro, that's good. It's called OPI. It's very useful because it allows you to put pretty much any button on these. And some of them are raid markers, as you can see there's raid markers there. Some of them are world markers, which I'm using to mark here. I use it while I'm DPSing to mark for this fight, because I can actually use it in between my spells. So it's very helpful for putting raid markers down, because I have to do very small amounts of clicking. So, breath incoming, move away from the markers. That may not have been the best taunt in the world. Yep, we took another stack. That sucks. That sucks. Stack! There we go. Where is the majority of the raid? The majority of the raid is here. And the other tank has aggro. That's good. That's exactly what we want. So we'll use the chance to use our tranquility. That was not a good idea. Apparently that was not a good idea at all. Of course it wasn't a good idea. Right, yes, because he was at a little bit of an awkward angle. We'll probably want to wait until this Blood Rage ends to accept this res. Alright, so we'll accept this res now. Alright. So we'll grab that, move to the center of the room. Oh, now's a good time to Bloodlust, yeah. On 1%. Anyway, yes. I'll tell you why that was a mistake. Because we had Fatal Strike on us. Oh, hello. That's nice. That's very nice. Lose a lot of hit, but we gain everything else. Alright, so we'll put that on. Anyway. Nicely done, folks. Okay, so I'll tell you why that was a mistake. It was a mistake because I had Fatal Strike on me. Now, Fatal Strike isn't just like a dot, and it isn't just like any old, you know, you take more damage from the boss. It's a flat, you take more damage from everything. And if you'll notice, right before the Blood Rage happened, I taunted the boss to move the melee away from the breath of your Sarge, which means that I got an extra stack when it was about to fall off. So instead of sitting at 0 stacks like I was hoping, I sat at 21. Which is probably about 150% extra damage taken. And then the boss went in an awkward position, and he used his Blood Rage, and I was standing in the Blood Rage, and I wanted to help by using Tranquility. So I used Tranquility, went out of bear form, got hit by the Blood Rage at like 170% extra damage. Which flattened me, pretty much. As you could see, it completely flattened me. So that was a mistake on my part, big mistake on my part. Thankfully, it was right at the end. And even if we didn't have a battle raise available, or, you know, someone had not battle raised me, I'll just move this guy facing away from the raid. Even if that had not happened, then we probably still would have won, because the other tank was still up. And even if we both went up, he was on 1%. Chances are we would have killed him before he killed the raid. But I'm just glad that we killed him. So, that was good. That was all good. And we will move on. It looks like Cotton Bull is still up there. But that's fine. We'll charge into here. Move into the center, and then I think we'll use our berserking here. We've got a bit of time before the next boss. And the next boss will certainly be very interesting, I have to say. So we'll use a couple of cooldowns here to help survive this. The gunners aren't too important. It seems like all they do is just spam the raid with damage. It's these skull splitters we want to be careful of. Would you get over here? What is up with that? Why does this guy have aggro? Interesting. He's not a tank, is he? No, he's not a tank. He's just got all the aggro. That's very strange. Maybe he used Mocking Banner or something. I don't know why you would use Mocking Banner as a DPS. That sounds like a death sentence. But yeah, if you're a DPS warrior, don't use Mocking Banner. Like, just generally don't. I mean, you won't be able to in Warlords of Draenor because it won't exist, but just be careful. Okay, so this next passageway is fairly difficult, but not too much so. Okay. What we're going to want to think about is the group makeup for Spoils of Pandaria. So we will go through here. Alright, looks like we have already aggroed. So we will charge forwards, grab aggro on the two of you, and then wait to see if anyone grabs aggro on the rest of them. Now, this area can get really out of control really fast. We're going to want to aggro these guys as well, because we want someone to be able to grab these peons. If we can grab the machinists. Of course, there is a problem here. These sentinels attack faster and deal more damage if they're close to one another. Okay, as you can see that. We want to be very careful. Looks like people... Well, they got one of the peons. One of the machinists, but not the other. So he's going to jump into this shredder, which will then deal heavy raid damage. So we will grab aggro on you. At least the other tank, he is here. Somewhere. Oh, he's just standing there. Please don't do that, Mr. Tank. I'm very worried for my life right now. If I died, what's the raid going to do? They're going to need you to take over. So yes, a good point. If you have like a really well-geared main tank, and you're the off-tank, don't just sit there and do nothing. Be prepared for the fact that your off-tank might die. And if they do, you'll want to pick up the aggro and save the whole group. You really just do, because that will save the whole group and you will be a hero. I've done that before. On the very first raid I ever did, I was an off-tank. And I saved the raid because the main tank died on trash. Alright, so we'll just wait for the raid to come with us. We don't want to charge on ahead here. Alright, let's move forwards. Okay, so we're going to want to grab War Master Crag here. So we will grab aggro on you. And then use a swipe here. Looks like that machinist is going to die. That's good. Alright, so War Master Crag doesn't do too much. He does this cleave, which you want to avoid. But other than that, he doesn't do too much. And generally, we just want to watch out for people bursting really hard. And they'll just grab aggro from you, so I want to be careful with that. Oh, here comes a shredder. We will grab you. And another Iron Sentinel. And we will grab you as soon as our stuff comes off cooldown. Alright, looks like we have aggro. That's good. Alright, at this point, we want to use a Savage Defense. Okay, and we'll combine that with Survival Instincts. And hopefully these machinists won't make it past the raid. There is one slowly moving past the raid. Okay. Oh, I can't exactly go chasing after it. I can only pick up the ad that it spawns. Alright, looks like he died. That's good, that's good. Whoever is over there, I salute you for your good machinist killing. Now, you want to focus War Master Crag here because he constantly summons these Iron Sentinels. Alright. And we will just get these Thresher turrets down. You want to get these guys down because otherwise you'll be stuck in combat. And we'll use this chance to balance the groups a little bit. We can't really do that while we're in combat, actually. So we will just sit here and wait. Although these guys don't seem to be doing any melee attacks. They just do the shredding blast, which actually targets just a random person. See that? Just targets a random person. Let's wibble him instead. Whee! Whee! Okay, that was silly of me. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to want to have a tank in both. In two separate groups. So it looks like we've got a tank in group 5 and a tank in group 2. So we'll move the tank to group 1, and I'm still in group 2, so that's good. We'll have tanks in group 1 and 2. It'll probably be even groups one side, odd groups another, and I'll split up group 5 a little bit. Alright, so this guy, all he does is summon reinforcements. That's fine, just grab aggro on them. And avoid the shockwave that they do. Holy hell, this guy hits really hard. Okay. Wasn't quite prepared for that, but that's okay. So we'll just grab the reinforcements that he summons. That's okay, we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine. Okay, I'm gonna grab aggro on you guys. Oh, and that's right, we want to move him out of the infusion that he does. Now, this is a little pool on the ground. As you can see it here, he's just doing his cast time here. But it's this purple pool over here that you see. You want to move the storeroom guard out of that, because it heals him for percentage health. Which is bad. You don't want him doing that. Okay, so, at this point, we're going to put a marker there, and put a marker here. Okay, so, Holy Moo is a healer, a healer, a healer, and a healer. Alright, so it looks like all the healers are in group 1, so we will split them up. We'll put that there, and that there. So we've got Kalnick and Faustus with our friendly tank, and Sorrow and Holy Moo with me. Okay, groups 1, 3, we will split this group up as well. We'll just do that. Okay, groups 1, 3, and 5, blue. Groups 2, 4, and 6, purple. Yeah. Actually, we'll go with red instead. We don't need purple. Who wants purple? We'll go with red. Okay, there we go. So groups 1, 3, and 5 is blue. Groups 2, 4, and 6 is red. I'm just going to let the raid adjust. And we get things sorted out. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure who's going where at this point. As long as we have an equal spread of healers and an equal spread of DPS, it should be fine. Now, this fight is all about the tanks, actually. It's all about getting the tanks to open at a decent pace. So we'll have to see how we do. We want to open fairly fast, but at the same time, we don't want to open too fast. Alright, so it looks like we've got way more people hit on that side than we do on this side. Well, let's just see. So, groups 2, 4, and 6 are on red. So let's see. iLive, you're in the right position. Holy Moo is in the right position. Sorrow is in the right position. Serendi is in the right position. You're 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 in the right position. And you are not in the right position. That's fine. Alright. Let's do it. Okay. So, 3. 2. 1. Come on. Talk to it, my friend. Come on. Talk to it. Need one more to talk to it. There we go. There we go. Okay. We're good to go. Alright. So these Pandarian crates don't exist on LFR mode, which is good, I'm happy about that. We'll just swap over to Fairy Swarm nice and fast. Alright. And we'll move in down here. We'll use our Savage Roar and go straight towards this big old box here. Oh, we can't click on this big old box. What's that all about? Well, we'll go aggro on you two. Why can't I open this big old box here? There we go. Now I can pick up the big old box. I think it just takes a little bit of time to get in there. Alright, so we have the boss coming in here. So we will just use our defensives. Keep our Savage Defense up. Keep a Berserking up. And then move forwards. We want to slowly open these crates. I can't do that yet? What's that all about? Interesting. It seems like there's some kind of limit on LFR. Alright, well, that's fine. I'm not taking too much damage from this guy. Well, we are taking some damage, but... Actually, it increases the he gets more damage when these stone statues are up, so I suppose that's fine. So we'll grab you. It seems like there's a cap on how much you can open as a tank. That's interesting. So there's that. There's that. We'll grab you. Now, these small ones... The small crates often don't have anything too dangerous in them. This medium one does, though. He has something called an Anima Golem. Now, this Anima Golem does something called... what's it called? Crimson Reconstitution, that's right. And when he does it, you just want to run away. That's all you want to do. You just want to do that. Because it will create pools under these things' feet. And Crimson Reconstitution heals them. Which is bad. You don't want that. So we want to keep constantly pulling these guys. We want to aggro you if we can. Use some of our defensives here. Can't talk. Interrupt that. And then open this up. Alright, so this is the second boss for now. I kind of know the rotation that we use because I've done this so much on normal with my raid team, but we should be good. Can't see too much, but we're just tanking against the wall here. That's fine. That's fine. He's not standing on a Crimson Reconstitution, so that's good. We will use Survival Instincts here to help out. Now, are any of these people... Let's see. If we're facing here, it looks like all of the people here died on the other side, which kind of sucks, but, I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. Cotton Ball, you are tanking in cat form and not taking aggro. Yeah, well, there is that. Now, I'm not going to make fun of this guy. I will say this. It sucks. It's really dumb. Don't do it. But. Why do you think this guy is tanking in cat form? Why do you think that is the case? He's doing so because he doesn't know his class. If he knew what was going on with his class, he wouldn't do it. It's that simple. So, it's very likely that he jumped straight into the Throne of Thunder or the Siege of Orgrimmar without learning his class at all, which is a classic mistake. You do not want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. So we'll interrupt you. Crimson Reconstitution is down. Okay, so that will probably put us on about 45, 45, 6, 7. It's 2 Burial Urns and some Quillen Guardians. So we will... We've got plenty of time, so we will continue to smack this about. Okay. And then we will grab you. This Quillen Guardian is not aggroed on us, but that's fine. Grab this Ancient Stone Mogu, so that's 47, 48, 49. This last one should put us at 50. Alright, so we should be good over here in just a moment. So, as you can see, you have to open about 2/3 of the boxes in the room. But it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so there we go. We have finished our side of the room. Looks like our friendly mage is going to jump over. That's good. And we will sit here and we shall wait. No point in us going over as a tank because... Well, we're taking a bit of a deep of hair, but yeah, there's not much of a point because we have to be over here to tank things, and as soon as the door opens, we're going to want to start doing that. So if we jumped over to help out the other side, then we would have to jump over and all that stuff. Although it sounds like stuff is not going so great on that other side. Looks like a few of our people are going to go over and help. We have 100 seconds, so it shouldn't be too bad, as long as they can get it done. Alright, let's see. What number are you on over there? Let's wait and see how things go. It's a very strange fight that you have to sit here. Waiting. Waiting? Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking about you. Mantid side, that is. Silly healers. Alright, well, it looks like... I've got focus on the guy here, so he is tanking in bear form, and he is targeting stuff, so he's definitely doing things. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright, let's go. So we will start over here on the left. Open you, and not click on that. We definitely don't want to click on that. If we do, then we are in some serious trouble. So we will aggro you. And it looks like people are going to go and get the Kuntrong by themselves. That's good. We'll move out of this tornado here. It moves in an awkward kind of way, but... we will go and grab those. Alright, looks like that's good. We will open another small box. Looks like it's a Bombardier. Help the Bombardier! Alright. Now, the Mantid side does tend to be a little bit more dangerous than the Mogu side, so we're going to want to be a little bit more careful. Okay. Still getting hit by those bloody tornadoes. They're so frustratingly annoying to avoid. That's okay, though. That's okay. Now that you're nearly dead, we will open you. And that's an amber encased Kuntrong. Now, these Kuntrongs are actually... they can do a surprising amount of damage. Because they just constantly put things under people's feet. Which is kind of sucks. As you can see, there's one right there. It's an amber pool. Which we don't really want too many of these amber encased Kuntrongs to pop up. We're just going to use our savage, our bark skin here to help with this. Looks like people are popping their cooldown, so I'll open another couple of boxes for you. Alright, going at a good pace, good pace. We'll move over here. And this is... it's only a stout crate. It's not a massive, so we'll open up you three. So we're currently sitting about 15, that's fine. get the AoE threat. We'll use our berserking at this point to help kill this amber encased Kuntrong. Looks like we've lost aggro on you, but that's fine. We'll taunt you over here. Get over here, seriously. Jeez. Alright, so we've got aggro on quite a few things here. We're going to want to wait a little bit until a few things die before we open this big boss crate. Now is a good time. We'll grab you, grab these little dudes as they come down, and then we'll give the raid some room. Yeah. I was pretty sure we'd be running out of line of sight there. So they're set to blow. We're going to go and move over to these crates over here. Not to open them, just to give the range some room, because the main mechanic that these guys do, other than doing constant raid damage, is set to blow. You can see it there. He just threw some bombs onto this priest. Now this priest has a ticking bomb over his head. And you see he's going to go to the corner, and he'll have an extra action button. He'll use the extra action button, and you see he's dropping bombs behind him. There's about 5 of them. You have 5 stacks. So you want to just move to the side of the room and then drop them. And then after a certain amount of time, they will explode. So can I open these? So while I have a boss up, I can't open any of the small ones. That's okay. So there's 1, 2, grab aggro on you, and open the 3rd one there. Alright. But yeah, if you don't drop those bombs, then you will instead explode. All 5 of them will explode on your head, which sucks. So that happened. But that's fine though. That's fine. So we will grab aggro on you and you. And it looks like things are fairly under control. So we will actually start moving towards the next boss at this point. We want to get a big chunk from the bosses. So we've got a couple of small ones and a big one open. And it looks like we can't actually open this while we have all of these boxes open. So for now, we will just AoE these guys down. Lots and lots of damage coming out on my side. I may have misbalanced that, but I mean, I didn't really balance the DPS because there's so many people. I didn't really have the time. I normally do it while we're clearing the trash up to this boss, but I didn't have the time because I was tanking. To be expected, so we will grab you and move you away from the raid. So the first thing you do is cast your pheromones. And then we will grab that. Okay, all good. Now, these set to blow targets, as you can see, our friend Dianmo over here is about to explode. There he is. He exploded over there. It didn't kill him. He probably bubbled it, actually, but he looks like a paladin. Yeah, he is a paladin. He probably bubbled it, but you generally don't want to do that. You don't want to try and avoid it. You want to just drop them on the ground, because you see they're on the ground over there. Pull this lever. And now we move over to the next room. Me being there is not that helpful. I'd rather get healers and DPS over there first before me, because all I'm going to do is tank things, and I'm not going to be that helpful. So the first thing you want to do, if you're ahead, is you want to grab these hooks and jump up. Go ahead, guys. Go and grab these hooks. Go. I'm not of much use to you. I'm only a tank. Interesting. There's a whole bunch of blood axes yelling. Oh, well, since no one is coming in this direction, we will grab this, and we will jump over. So we will use our roar and jump down. So what are we sitting at? Oh, okay, well there we go. Sorted. Now, we could just leave the group at this point, and I am tempted to because I have now finished. However, I don't want to abandon it, because last time I was here, I'll just use a mass res. Can't use it in stun combat. Okay. The last time I was here, I appeared at a spoils group with about 14 people in it. Like I said during the intro of this, I started with about 14 people, and I just watched it slowly disintegrate because people just weren't willing to stay. This group can probably kill Fok, so that's what we're going to do. I mean, I have nothing I'll gain from it, but I do owe it, I think, to these other 24 people to help them out. So we'll use our Savage Roar to get them moving. So, Thok shouldn't be too difficult, just like we did before. We'll get him done. Shame that we don't have enough Lesser Charms. I suppose Lesser Charms don't drop from... Nah, they don't drop from raid trash. That's a shame. We could have quickly popped out and then... We could have quickly hearthed, grabbed our seals and then come back in, but... Yeah, it's okay. So we'll start with the trash here. I'm feeling a lot more confident this time because... We'll just open that. Yeah. I'm feeling a lot more confident this time because the... I've been with this group so far. I know that the healers are fairly reliable. So we will grab you. This often happens with LFRs. You feel like you gain a little bit of an attachment to them just for the one run. So that was good. So we will grab you guys. They get extra big. I'm not sure what that is that makes them do that. Oh well. Just going to get as much aggro as we can, use our Savage Defense. Try not to destroy our throat, because at the moment my throat is fairly sore from the non-stop talking. Then we will move forwards. Oh, get stunned. Leave me alone. Alright, we'll grab you, and we'll grab the Pterodax. And we will pick them both up, and then jump through them, and use our Berserk to help out. Alright, and then our next Savage Defense, we'll just shimmy back just a little bit. Alright, that's all good. And then our next Savage... Whoa! That may have hit me. I think that did actually hit me. Let's see if we can use the walk backwards trick. Ah, there's the walk backwards trick. Isn't that nice? Alright, so we did get hit by that Yeti. Was not quite expecting to go running across that. So we will grab... We've got aggro on everything at the moment. Looks like the other tank doesn't really feel like tanking trash. Which... Whoa! Just going to strafe out of the way of that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to tank trash. You want to be there. You want to give your... Oh, hello. We seem to be having a few connection issues. Come on. Come on. Alright, well, we'll use the survival instincts, because we're probably going to be taking some damage here. Although I suppose it's not that big of a deal. Disconnecting is not good. We'll see if it's the internet, or if it's just WoW. I think it may be the internet. Trying to connect to the internet, and it looks like we may lose it. Oh, no! Well, bollocks. Well, let's try and log in nice and quickly. I'll filter this bit out, just so you can't say my information. And as if I can even connect at all. Oh, dear me. That kind of sucks. Have I lost my internet? I think I may have. I'm trying to connect to YouTube, and I can't get in. That sucks. Oh, no, it looks like YouTube has just popped back up. It was probably just a little blip. Let's try logging in again. Okay, here we go. Authenticator time. Just grab my authenticator. Alright, log us on. Alright, there we go. We are logging back in. Hopefully they didn't start Thok without us. And hopefully they didn't kick us, because we are on our way back. Alright, log us back in. Unfortunately, DC issues are just what... It just happens. Alright, alright. Sorry about that. Okay. All good now. Okay, so let's find our friendly tank. Let's swap on 2 to 3 stacks. Let's swap on 2 to 3 stacks. Keep his side facing the raid. Alright, let's do a ready check. What have we got? We've got all our buffs. Looks like it's all good. Good technique is to pop into bear form right before you hit combat, because then you get the extra 10 rage. So, we'll do that. Waiting for everyone else to hit accept. Who is not ready? Healer. Oh, everyone is ready. Okay, so I'll pull in 7. I feel daring. We'll put a marker there.
2, 1.
Okay. And then combine that with our bark skin as soon as the fight starts. Oh, well, no, you don't. I'm not losing aggro to you right at the start. Alright. Okay, so that's all good. We'll use our Berserking to get a bit more snap threat. And generate some more rage for ourselves for more Savage Defenses. So there is our second Savage Defense. There is... Okay, we're sitting on 1 stack at the moment. Okay, next Savage Defense. We'll combine that with our Survival Instincts and a Maul to help reduce his damage. Next Savage Defense. 3, 2, 1. Next Savage Defense, combine it with a Bark Skin. We're currently sitting at 2 stacks. So hopefully he will sometime soon decide to taunt for us. Looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit on the cooldown for Savage Defense, but that's okay. Are you changing targets? Yes, you are. Good. I did not even notice that. Alright, so that's good. Damage taken increased by 100%. Alright, yeah, so we'll actually use this chance to use Tranquility. Because this actually puts a hot on everyone. Alright, now, okay, we're into Blood Frenzy, that's fine. So we will use the chance to grab aggro on you. Just spamming my ranged Fairy Fire and my Taunt. So we will move you this way. It looks like he won't reach this healer in time, although this is not a good position for Thok to be in. Especially considering it splits me from the rest of the raid. So we'll move in a circle around here. I don't think he targets tanks with his fixates. I've never ever seen it. So as far as I know, he doesn't do it. We'll use our Frenzied Rejuvenation to throw a big heal on ourselves. Does it just instantly convert? Yeah, it's an instant conversion. Alright, well, I need to use that way more often. Yeah, way, way more often. Okay. That's a whole part of the druid that I wasn't even paying any attention to. That's very important, the Frenzy Rejuvenation. Alright, so we have the key. We will unlock Zidon. And we'll just hit you with a bit of... We can actually get in melee range of Thok. We'll use our Savage Roar here, just to keep in range of him. You should be able to get into melee range of him without... You see, I'm in melee range right now without taking the damage. Alright, so he's going to run that way. I will be in this position. I will grab aggro on him. Combine our Bark Skin with our Savage Defense. Okay, and we should be all good. So there is the first breath. Use our Enrage to get us back up to enough rage for Savage Defense. Crap. Okay, so it looks like he is going to be standing on top of us. We don't want that, because the tank swap is conal. So we do not want him taking those. Alright, next Savage Defense coming up. And we will use our next Bark Skin. Hopefully he will taunt sometime soon, and I can run to the raid. Okay, now that he has got aggro, I'm going to whisper him. The tank swap is conal. When you're not tanking, you need to not be in front of him. Alright, well that was good timing. Alright, so we'll taunt you. Grab aggro. And then move you in this direction. Savage Roar is not on cooldown. It's not off cooldown, sorry. So we do not have that available. So taking the big chunk of damage that we always seem to be taking around this point, it's probably this Enrage here. 50% damage, 50% attack speed. Yeah, that hurts. So we will grab you. Can you be stunned? No. I know you can be disarmed, but you can't be stunned. Alright, so Thok is wandering in that direction, so we should be all good. Lots of DPS going onto this Jailer. That's nice. And then we will grab that. Uno Skeleton Key. Open the gate. Jump to freedom. Alright, so Thok is over here. We will wait for him to... Where's he moving next? Alright, so he's probably going to go to about here, where I'm looking at. And then he will turn... Okay, yep. So we will... at this point, you can run through him. So I will run through him. Oh, no, he's... Alright, so we will just make you 100% perpendicular to the room. Alright, there we go. We'll use our Frenzy Rejuvenation as well. I like that spell. Using it more and more now. Really helpful if you don't have... If you have too much rage. Oh, looks like we're taking a fair chunk of damage, so we'll pop a couple cooldowns to help stabilize ourselves. And then we will use our Enrage to keep generating the threat. The aggro. And we'll use Berserk as well to get plenty of stuff going. Alright, good taunt. Good taunt, I have to say. I like that. That was a good taunt. Alright, so we'll keep Berserking. Make sure we don't get aggro. That's a good, important thing there. In about 5 or so %, he will go to his next phase. So that's good. DPS on this fight. High DPS is really good. Grab you. Use our Savage Roar to help out the group. We may have just got stepped on there. Not entirely sure. Alright, so he's actually following us at this point. So we're going to want to move away from where this fixated guy is. And it looks like the raid hasn't noticed the Jailer yet. Which is kind of sucky. Alright, we've got 1 DPS on him. That's good. 2 DPS. And I need some more damage. Alright, so here is the Enrage. This is where we take a whole bunch of damage. That's fine. Gonna use our next Savage Defense. Oh, our Mangle missed. Kind of sucks. That's right. So you're running in that direction. Very helpful to have the boss mod add-on use that say, because then you can see where you're going. So that's helpful. Alright, so you have that. I will grab Uno Skeleton Key. I will dash. Open this gate. And then we shall... Okay. Looks like he's killed a few people. I will use this opportunity to res someone. DPS, DPS, DPS. You are closest. But also out of range. Nope, I can't do it. No, it's too late. I will grab aggro if I will grab it if I get the proc. But other than that, I can't really res you, I'm afraid. 'Cause the whole tanking the boss thing. So at this point, everyone in the raid is taking a lot of damage. So we're going to want to start using our cooldowns here. There's quite a lot of deja vu, I have to say, using our cooldowns. Hopefully other tank comes along. Whenever you're ready, other tank. Is other tank alive? I think you are. Yeah, I think you are. Well, In any case, we should be alright. Oh, here you are. Here you come. Good, 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 good. We'll use the opportunity to grab you then. So we res you. No, not that it's too important at the moment. Do we have enough for... Tranquility is not on cooldown. That's okay. Looks like the fight's about to end. But yes, Cotton Ball, aside from the couple of mistakes you made, I think you're pretty good. I think you've got loads of potential there. So there we go. The Underhold has been completed. Thanks, folks. Great job. One-shotting all the bosses this far in is pretty good. So here is our satchel. A little bit of the gold. And there we go. So that was good. I like that other tank. He made a couple of mistakes, like I said. Probably jumped in before quite knowing what he was doing. Oh, goodness me. Oh, yeah, that's right. We were farming for lesser charms. All right, we've aggroed one of everything here. Okay, time to execute strategy. Run the hell away. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We'll use our bark skin to help facilitate our escape. So, like I said, probably not entirely certain on what he was doing because of the fact that he probably didn't practice his class quite as much as was to be... Basically, he didn't practice his class enough. He should have spent a bit more time on the time missile, I think. It may have just been an honest-to-God mistake. And those mistakes happen. People make mistakes all the time. So, that was that. And I think it was pretty good. I was a good tank and a good run. So, that will conclude this video. It's been a bit of an awkward, weird, strange video, this one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have any thoughts, comments, all that stuff, you can contact me using the links in the description, or you can just leave a comment. As always, I'm always after feedback, so let me know what you think. So, without any further ado, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Best of luck with your boosted level 90.